Of course, with a t-shirt, if it's print on demand, always better to have a mock-up of someone wearing that t-shirt so the people can visualize themselves in that t-shirt. And same thing for jewelry is what I used to do all the time is, have real people put them on. And then I look at the product description itself, and you'll be surprised how often, people forget about that. They list what the t-shirt is made of or the sizes, the colors. And like these things, I can see them in the product selector, the sizes and the colors. A lot of time people don't care about percentage cotton in the t-shirt. What they care about is what I feel when I put this on.
Hey there, I'm Cody McGuffie. I'm a husband, dad of 3, and I'm the founder of
EverBee,
where we serve over 1 million creators across the globe, helping them grow thriving online businesses. I believe every single human is a creator, and I believe every single creator should own a business. A business that gives them the freedom to build the life that they dream of. Built Online is where creators, entrepreneurs, and leaders get real insights, real stories, and the edge to build something that actually lasts. This is where the next generation of builders get built. Asad, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Very good. Thank you for coming on. For
Yeah,
anyone that
it's my
doesn't
pleasure.
know, I'm excited. For anyone that doesn't know who Asad is, I'll give you my quick little introduction. My personal introduction is I've known Asad for over 4 years, and we've got the pleasure of working together in various ways, from a freelancer to contractor to employee to referring business to each other. I've learned so much from Asad, and that's why I was really excited to have you on. Is Asad, because I'm sure you have so much value that you can share with our audience today. So I'm excited to dive in what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, and I'm excited to be here. I've always learned so many things from you as well, and happy to add value to the listeners.
Let's do it. Let's
I,
jump right
I
into
have a
it.
special place for EverBee.
I know you do. A lot of so fun fact. A lot of actually the majority of EverBee email was built with Assad and of course team, and a lot of that vision was coming from you and your email marketing experience, which we'll dive into today. But I really want to understand, or want other people to understand, Assad, your brief history. I know you as copywriter expert. I know you as email marketing expert, and I also know you as e-commerce expert too. And I say those things, and I say expert. I don't say that lightly. I've seen your work. I've used your work. I've paid for your work, and I value your work. And I've also referred people to your work, so I really trust it. Uh, but also, you have the credibility of you've built standalone stores in the past too through Shopify in the past, and you've actually sold one of those brands. Is that correct?
I sold two of them actually over time. That was in 2018 and 2019.
And those are things that are hard to do for any, like, I would say, an average person. And so it's remarkable. And that's why I really wanted to have you on to share that expertise with the world, because I know there's a lot of things we can pull out of there.
Absolutely, absolutely. So my journey with e-commerce and online marketing starts in 2015. Before that, I was working in engineering. Uh, Not so much fun, but lots of analytics and lots of uh, building systems, if you want. But in 2015, that's when I started building my own e-commerce stores. And at that point, I used to focus more on selling jewelry online, um, because jewelry has an emotional connection to the buyer, whether it's an emotional connection, whether it's what they want to show off to the world through the piece that they're wearing. Um, and I did that, I want to say from 2015 all the way to 2020, just focusing on my own e-commerce stores. And as you said, I sold and I made an exit on two of them. Um, and what it comes down to, mainly like the three main skills that I learned uh, through that period of my life is three main things you need to focus on. One being is how you're going to drive traffic to your store, to your products, which in my case was paid ads.
Mhm.
Of course, you can do organic traffic, but I went the paid ad routes. Then the copywriting, how you're presenting this product in words so that people can see themselves interacting with it, whether they're putting it on their finger or necklace, conveying these words and emotions, and then finally email marketing to follow up with people who don't buy or with people who buy when you have something new that you're introducing into your store. So these three skills, the paid traffic, copywriting, and email marketing is what I've been focusing on, and that's what I've been helping my clients do over the years.
Do you have a, just so we can kind of get this out of the way, so that way people listening to this can really understand who you help. Who do you help, like, primarily with this? Is it in the e-commerce space? Is it course creators? Is it email marketing? Like, what specifically? That way we understand fully from that lens.
Sure. So I do work with e-commerce stores, whether they're selling on their own stores or selling on marketplace like Etsy, for example. Um, I also work with people who are selling physical products or people who are selling digital products, including um, planners, courses, memberships, um, and it varies between e-commerce sellers, coaches and consultants, and even SaaS companies like EverBee.
So it seems, yeah, in my experience too, it makes sense why you have like kind of like that broad, I want to say kind of broad customer base, because email marketing and copywriting is like, it is true for every single one of those things, and they all need to be have persuasive copy, relationship building, has to have email follow-ups, systems all built in. They also need to talk to each other as far as the systems of where they are in the funnel. Like, there's a lot of things that need to happen for each one of those segments.
Exactly, exactly. And whereas with e-commerce, the email marketing side of things is more visual. Adding images of the products and having more colors versus promoting with um, a course where it's more text heavy, where and SaaS somewhere in between, where you're possibly putting screenshots of how to use the product in the middle.
Hmm.
Uh, so all of these different styles varies, but then designing an email system, you need the copywriting and you need the triggers in place when to send out the email. What happens after they open this email? What
Hmm.
happens after they click it? Um, and the sequence of events that take place.
Can we talk to a certain segment today?
Sure.
Maybe the folks that sell, let's just say, products online. That could be digital or physical.
Mhm.
And maybe we probably won't have time. I already know we won't. If I was gonna say if we have time, but I know we won't. I want to touch on course kind of people that are selling courses and things like that and memberships. So maybe we could sprinkle some of that in there, but mostly if we can focus on like the product sellers, digital or physical, which is print on demand, also included. For example, the t-shirt seller or maybe
Right.
the digital
Mhm.
planner seller. What are some
Absolutely.
things, what are some things that they just need to have like as a baseline? Like, you just be like, you come in today, I'm client, my name's Sally, and you're just like, hey Sally, what do you need? And you're just like, I don't know what I need. And what would you do? What would you set me up with?
Right. So the first thing I would look at is the product pages, the landing pages where people go to, buy the product. And there are four or five different elements that I would look at. Uh, the first one is the title of the product. Um, what does it say about the product? Does it invoke any kind of emotion or curiosity in this product? The other thing I would look at is the product image. And of course, with a t-shirt, if it's print on demand, always better to have a mock-up of someone wearing that t-shirt so the people can visualize themselves in that t-shirt. Um, and same thing for jewelry is what I used to do all the time is, have real people put them on. Um, and then I look at the product description itself, and you'll be surprised how often, um, people forget about that. They list, like what the t-shirt is made of or the sizes, the colors, and like these things I can see them in the product selector, the sizes and the colors. Um, a lot of time people don't care about percentage cotton in the t-shirt. What they care about is what would I feel when I put this on,
Mm.
Or what would someone see me wearing this shirt get the impression of, or the feeling of?
Mm.
And translating that into copy is absolutely amazing. It automatically like bumps up the conversion rates. And I've
So
seen,
for
mhm,
so for example, like let's say that I have a friend that he used to own a history t-shirt company, and it was basically like for history buffs, and like they were kind of like humorous history things. And it'd be like Abraham Lincoln, and they have some like funny quote or something like that. And
mhm,
so you would what you wouldn't want to see, you personally, Assad, wouldn't want to see on that product description is like made of 100% cotton, uh,
exactly.
polyester, whatever it is,
Eco-friendly, like
eco-friendly.
ethically sourced. I mean, all of these are good things, but these are
Not the most important.
features, more or less. Uh, and because you said it's a history T-shirt, like I wouldn't go into the history of Abraham Lincoln, but if it's like a quote from him, like I would mention like either framing. Now, of course, it depends on the seller themselves. Like, do they want to go the funny route, the serious route, which way they're going to? But add a story in there.
Mm.
Like this phrase, Abe Lincoln mentioned it on the event of this, and
Oh,
make
interesting.
it something, like visual that they can see themselves in the crowd when he mentioned that phrase.
Oh,
That
interesting.
would invoke that feeling. And now they have a story when they're wearing it and someone says, like, hey, I like this shirt.
Oh, very interesting. It's very true. I could totally see a human doing that. Like if someone's asks me to, if I'm wearing a Abe Lincoln shirt, not something I would wear, but let's say I did, and I would almost like want someone. I'm wearing that shirt because I want someone to ask me, like, "Oh, you big
Right.
Abe Lincoln fan?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, did you know this quote was actually said on this day and this day and this day, right before he went to
Exactly.
battle with this?"
Exactly.
And
Here you
that
go.
makes me feel smart, probably. So I'm feeling an emotion. I'm feeling like, oh, I'm feeling like smart.
Hmm.
Maybe I'm feeling impressive to this person who also appreciates history. Maybe I
Right.
just attracted somebody that was interested in history. Now I'm potentially a friend because that's what I was
Right.
doing is I'm
Mhm.
attracting people to come and have a conversation with me about Abe Lincoln.
Exactly. Here you go. Or, if the intent of it is to gift it to someone, then you can talk about how they're going to feel once they receive it, the look on their face, and how much your relationship to them would mean once they receive this gift from you. Or it could be like the results that would happen after you use uh,
Okay.
this product.
Now, can we move kind of into the email marketing segment too? Because I know that
Sure.
so you would start with landing page, or I'm sorry, on product
With the
pages
product page, right?
first.
Hmm.
Okay. Now let's
Yep.
go to the next segment, which I know is very, very important.
Right. And with email there are mainly two routes. There's the automatic sequences, things that happen with you in the background. You don't do anything. You set them up once and you just let them run. And some of these include, when someone starts the buying of a product, but they don't continue with the process. So that triggers sending out different emails. Hey, you forgot something in your cart. Come back. Here's 10% discount to complete your order, and so on. Although I wouldn't start with a discount from day one. Uh, Gentle reminder at first. By the third email, I would introduce a discount. Um, there's also the emails for when someone joins the email list for the first time. You want to welcome them into your store, talk about, what makes it special. And when I say what makes it special, it's not why this store is special to you as a seller, but why it's special for them as a buyer.
Hmm.
Um, even on any website, like this is a side note, the about us section on any website shouldn't really be about us. It should be about them,
Hmm.
about our customers. We're just saying it's about us, but we're here for you.
Hmm.
Um,
How do you, one question I've always wondered, and I think is important, but no one really has really talked to me about it in this way, is how do you kind of take the general voice, let's just say the history as an example, and kind of like push it and sprinkle it into all your automations and sequences? What's a good way to do that? Or is that even needed in the e-commerce world? Or is it just like the sequences, automations enough?
Now, as any good marketer would say, it depends. So it depends on if the store is general. If it sells history with, you know, uh, space and NASA, these are two
Oh, I see.
completely different things. So one way of doing that would be to have multiple email sequences that are doing the same purpose. So if a person, starts the checkout with this or with an item from the history collection,
Oh, I
it
see.
triggers out, the history abandoned cart sequences, and it talks about history. And that's a good way of segmenting the audience. It's always good to have different buckets of the audiences within your email tool to be able to speak to them in their own language and in their own interests. Um,
That's
so that's
interesting
one
because
way.
so there's like, for example, a general store would be a funny t-shirt store. That's pretty
Right.
general, probably, right? Like, yes, it's product
Right.
specific, but it's not a specific niche you can talk to all the same. You can kind of talk in a funny tone,
Right.
but that's pretty much it.
Exactly. Because, someone who's interested in a funny t-shirt might get, a funny history t-shirt, but not a funny dad t-shirt or something like that. But if the whole store, for example, is about history or about selling, to moms or selling to dad or, a very specific group of people, then, you can have that one sequence that talks specifically about um, the store and the audience.
Okay. What are some of the basic things that for someone doesn't, this is like an intro to email marketing. They're
Mhm.
just like not even sure which automations they should have set up. Like, what are the just checklist things that they should have set up just
Sure.
because they're leaving money on the table?
Perfect. So for e-commerce in general, the the first one you need to have is the cart abandonment, which basically these are people who started checking out for some reason or other they didn't continue. It could be that when they started this process they were laying on the couch and life happened. The credit card was far away from them. They got busy. They were on a bus and didn't continue. So that's number one. The second one is what if you have an email list, you need to keep growing this email list. And one way for e-commerce stores is to give a discount for new customers. So a pop-up would appear, get 10% off with your first purchase, enter your email. Now there you want to deliver that 10% discount, the coupon code, but you also want to start establishing this relationship with them. You want to tell them what kind of products they can find in your store. Um, you know, if they don't buy immediately, which is what's going to happen, you want to give them, time to build this relationship and showcase what you have in store. So these are two of the most important automations that you have in the store.
Mm.
Um, you would also have, you know, an automation after someone buys from the store. Um, so it's not only just delivering, here's your invoice, thank you for purchasing, but making it over a number of days. Your order has been shipped, it's on the way. And that would also trigger, you want people to, uh, the hardest part in e-commerce is getting someone to pay you that first dollar.
Mm.
But once they do, you've overcome a big hurdle. And now it's a matter of getting them to buy more and more and more. And it's easier if you're selling good quality products, it's easier to resell to your customers. They bought a history shirt. Hey, how about this other history shirt that we just launched?
And that obviously increases your repeat customers, one, which also increases your lifetime value of that customer. So it's just I know it's a little bit of a
Exactly.
nerdy term for those that are just beginners,
E-
but it's important for commerce.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know, there are like two situations for people buying online. Like this is kind of like the way I look at it. Um, there are people who know what they want. So they would probably go into a marketplace and say, I'm searching for this. What are the different options available right now? The other way is if you're not selling on a marketplace and you want to stand out, is you cater to this audience and you need to communicate to them every new item that you have or every new collection that you have because they bought from you once. They're not going to keep coming back to the store every time. You need to keep to be inviting them to come.
That I was looking at my list here of, I feel like the checklist I would say that are important to me as an e-commerce seller, somebody building a brand is abandoned cart, like you said. Welcome series, which is kind of what you were alluding to, which is like for me in my world, it's like probably 4 or 5 emails of welcome, and the main
Mhm.
objective. This is when someone first comes into puts their email
Into your word.
into your
Right.
world,
Exactly.
and this is your chance to really establish a relationship, introduce who you are, talk about why you started,
Mhm.
maybe introduce maybe something ab- about maybe introduce a product. What would you say about welcome series and how important are they?
Right. That's exactly what they are. And except that I wouldn't talk about like introducing myself. I wouldn't talk about, like the whole entire history. I would make it focused more on what the customer wants.
Mm,
Uh, People are selfish. They like to hear about themselves, about their own problems and solutions to their problems and what could make them feel better. So if you're sending out an email and you're talking about yourself,
yeah.
people are not going to continue reading it. They want to hear more about what you can do for them. So again, the about us email is not about us. It's how we're here to help them
Help you.
exactly stand out or feel better,
I
save
think
time.
we both read that same book. I think it was Story Brand, right?
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, you read that book though,
Uh,
right? The Story Brand
I
book.
did. Yep.
I forget
Yep.
what it's called. I read
Building a
it.
story brand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and pretty much like the biggest takeaway that I pulled from this, I'm hoping it's the same book, is as a brand, you are not the hero. The customer is the hero.
The customer is
You
the
are the
hero.
guide, and you're the like
Exactly.
that's they're Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, and you're Yoda. That's the way I always think about
Exactly. 100%.
it.
100%.
And
They're Harry Potter and you're Dumbledore.
mm,
You're the guy.
you're the guide. You're what's we're scratching it. Never mind. I'll leave it there. Those are two good examples. But I think that's really important that you called that out because I think I still get a lot of emails from brands that are talking about their founding story and how important they are and how amazing they are and how all the stuff they had to overcome. Cool stuff. But you need to reposition this in a way that's
That's more
focused.
for me. I'm the reader.
Yeah, exactly. Um, okay. What are some interesting, like, I was pulling up some interesting, like, email marketing facts, like statistics, but
Mhm.
if in your experience, how much revenue percentage should actually be coming from email? Like off the top of your head, I know this can all vary, but
So kind of like a rule of thumb is for every person on your email list, you should be able to generate $1 per month on average.
okay, that's a lot. It
So
seems like a lot to me. I don't know if that's if it is, but it just seems like a lot.
a lot like uh, in a good way.
It seems like in a good
Yeah,
way. It also
in a good way.
seems
Yeah,
if I'm thinking about the person listening to this, they're probably like, okay, so I have 1,000 people on my list. Uh, that means I
that's
should
a
be
thousand dollars per month.
$1,000 per month. Seems very exciting.
Mhm.
Is it possible? Is that realistic? Is that actually attainable?
100%, 100%. Now we only talked about the automations, the ones that work in the background. Um, what really helps in pushing these numbers is the emails that you actually send on regular basis, the newsletters or the campaigns. And these are, I don't want to say like typically tied to a special occasion, like
Yeah.
when not only whenever you're having a discount or promotion or Memorial Day is coming or Labor Day. Uh, it's whenever you want to. And typically these get sales um, because they're geared towards getting sales.
Mm.
Um, it could be, we just released this new collection. Here's why this new collection is so cool. You bought from us before. How about you complement your T-shirt with this other one?
Mm.
Um, things like that.
What are some, I'm gonna ask you some like some maybe more statistic questions. Just
Mhm.
so people, because again, people listening to this are very likely brand new to email marketing, so they don't know what is what. And I want to give them some benchmarks that they can look up online too. But I want to be able to, we can discuss it too. Typical open rate percentage, what should somebody be targeting?
Anything above 20% is considered good. Uh, if you're doing 30, 40%, that's amazing. And
Okay.
that's actually, open rate is the first important thing people need to look at. Um, because if the email is not being opened, it means no one is reading it. It means it's not doing its purpose. Um, so it's one of the things to really focus on in email marketing. The first thing to look at before you even look at revenue per email or the click rate or any of that, just focus on the open rate. And there are two main factors that affect that. One of them is your relationship with them. So, for example, I know that when I receive an email in my inbox that says Cody from EverBee, I immediately open it because there's this trust factor. Um, so that's number one, and that's something you build through time. Um, the other part of it is the subject line. Um, is imagine this, you open your inbox, you see all of these different messages. You're probably just skimming through them, deciding which ones to delete or archive or look at them later, and then few ones are the ones that you actually open them. And that's what happens with every single person. So the subject line is what gets your email opened, or the second part of what gets your email open. Um,
Hmm.
and there are different tricks of doing that.
There are, yeah, and I love this because the purpose of this is to make it very simple, and that's very simple to me. Like target 20% and above. If you're getting less than 20%, play with your subject line,
Mhm.
um, and probably don't get overwhelmed with split testing and A/B testing, and don't really worry about all that stuff quite yet. That can be later on optimized. Like, don't need
Right,
to worry about that so much yet. People get
right.
messed up in the complexity of that. How about click-through rate, CTR, click rate, or click
Click
rate,
rate.
click-through rate? Which one do you want to talk about?
Click rate, which is how many, percentage of times the link within the email has been clicked. And, if you're in e-commerce, you probably have images within the email, product images. So anytime someone clicks on that product image, it's going to take them to that product page. Any one of these is considered a click.
Hmm.
Um, Different platforms measure it differently. Some of them, a click means there has been a click in the email. Others will measure it, like you click two different products so that it counts them as two different clicks within the email. So percentages differ, but anything between 1 to 2% is considered great.
So if you have 1,000 people on your list, you sent out 1,000 emails. Um, let's say that 20% of those opened. So
Mhm.
20, 200,
200. So now you
200,
look at, if you're looking at 2% click rate from the 200, that's four.
4. So it's off of the 200 is the click rate.
Right.
Got
Right.
it.
That's the click to open ratio.
Okay.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
beautiful. I I was looking at the time. I think it's a perfect time to transition over to rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
sure. Yep.
What's your favorite business book?
Ooh, building a story brand.
Is it?
Just because I've read it recently.
I love that. By the way, who wrote that book? I just want to make sure that I remember who.
Donald Miller.
What's the one thing that you wish that you knew before starting your businesses?
The amount of time it's going to take building them.
Hmm. What do you mean by that?
I thought it's going to take, so I was looking far ahead into the future by working less. That I thought that I could work less now and build a business. It's the opposite way.
Explain more. What do you mean by that? I'm not sure if I fully grasped.
Sure. So a lot of, I mean, when I first started my own business, I was looking to work less time
Ah,
and be able to make a living. That's where I want to be in the future. I started applying it early on.
I
before
see.
getting the results. But yeah, it takes time initially. But once you get through that phase, the initial phase, you'll be able to get to what you want.
It does take time. You're right. It takes time and it's front loaded the way I think about it. It's heavily front loaded. It's probably takes more time, more energy, more stress, more work, more uncertainty. And it's front loaded so heavy on the front end, but as you learn more and you learn more skills and you have more relationships, it kind of eases up a little bit. It doesn't really get
Right,
easier, probably, but it feels easier because you get so much better.
right, right. And to be honest, it was more about the journey than actually getting there.
Hmm. What's the worst advice that you've ever received about business?
Don't do it.
Hmm. You heard that
It was
before.
probably, yeah, it was probably an unsolicited advice either.
Always is.
Yeah, yeah, those are the ones you have to ignore.
Do you remember who said it?
A lot of people actually, a
Hmm.
lot of people. But then, like you ignore these advice and you just keep going through.
I'm curious about those conversations because I'm sure I've had those conversations too. I'm sure people told me don't do it. They don't come though in those words though. They don't come in don't do it words. That's
Yeah.
how we take it, but there's usually they come in different forms of language. Like,
Right. Some
are you
of them
sure you
might
want to do
have,
that? Are you,
right.
do
Mhm.
you don't, what do you know about that business? Like, what do you know about that? That's basically the same, kind of saying the same thing, but it's yours
Right.
actually get, don't do it.
Not in that directness, but you know me, I'm direct. Uh, but it could be sometimes coming from someone very close, a loved one, someone who cares about you, that they're worried that you might be going, um, you know, to make a decision that's going to have some hardship come with it. And are you sure that's where you want to go? Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Stay
A
on
lot
the
of times,
safe side.
what I feel, and I think this is super relevant for people listening to this too, that are thinking about wanting, maybe they're starting their business, obviously, or they're watching this, is that's very normal. It'd be weird if everyone cheered you on, probably, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah,
It'd be kind of weird. Because you're kind of going into the uncertainty and you're betting fully more definitely on yourself, and it's scary. And a lot of times people that love you, they love you so much that they want to protect you, and they know that starting a business is going to have pain, and it's going to have sleepless nights, and they're probably going to miss you a little bit more because your time is going to be more focused on that versus maybe spending time with them. It'd be kind of weird if they didn't try to protect you from that, wouldn't it?
100%, 100%.
And that's why if you really feel the calling, then do it. And if you don't feel that calling, then you don't have to do it. That's totally okay too. So that's
Right.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. Who do you think should actually own a business and who do you think shouldn't?
I'm sorry.
Who do you think should own a business?
Anyone who's responsible enough to own a business, and anyone with good intentions also. Um, my focus has always been on relationships more than transactions. So even though a business is a way to make money, but I always like to, advise people that, do something that benefits others. If you're just solely doing it for your own good and not benefiting others around you, uh, you should probably have a business.
Yeah, I'd prefer those people don't have a business as well. I mean, scammers and the quick make money, set up a
Right,
store and then make money and then don't ship the product,
right.
or ship the product but don't really care about the quality. I prefer if those
Yeah.
guys don't own
Hmm.
businesses as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So where can people find you, follow you, learn more from you, connect with you?
So LinkedIn is a great place. I'm there. They can check out my website, funneledforward.com.
Beautiful. And guys, for anyone listening to this, we will share Assad's links in the description and the show notes below. Assad, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate
Appreciate
it.
it. Thank you for having me.
Totally. We'll have to get you back on again in the future and get an update on kind of where you are and what the email
Yeah,
marketing and copywriting and what has changed with AI and AI landscape. And I'm sure that's all
perfect.
changing
Oh,
a little bit.
that's a whole different story. Yeah.
Yep. Have you next time. Thanks, Assad.
Definitely. Take care.